Oh no, you guys, there is a sexist female video game character out there. Whatever shall we do? It's not like this does not get applied to every female video game character out there. Oh no, this is a special occasion here. Alright. Nintendo Wii. There's a new game out for the Nintendo Wii, and it's called Metroid Other M, and it is causing a bit of controversy. A lot of reviewers and people have been calling this game sexist. Maybe not a lot, but at least a vocal minority, and it is annoying the hell out of me, because really, why do you consider Samus to be a sexist main character? One thing I want to ask is, since when does any one particular person represent their entire race or gender? That is something that drives me nuts. It's like, oh, there is a black character in this movie. Obviously, they must despite the fact that we had to go with bank robbers because this movie is about robbing banks. The fact that this black character is in here must obviously mean that he represents the entire race. No, that is completely asinine. The movies like that, they typically feature an entire background or, you know, collage of different races, and because you need to have bank robbers for this movie to exist, of course, they are going to be bank robbers. And in this case, because someone is emotionally damaged and female, that means that you need to have someone that's emotionally damaged and female as the main character. And that does not mean that they represent the entire female race. Something we need to realize as a society, I guess, when we're reviewing things, is that different genders tend to have different problems that reoccur more often. I am not going to have issues as much as, say, a woman would if I lost a baby or whatever. Now, women, they often have a genetic or biological connection to the fact that if they lose a baby or have a miscarriage, that is some really extreme shit for them. That is very saddening to them, and that even extends to, oh, it's adopted. Well, you know what? The biological female mind is programmed to react in certain ways when tragic things happen to creatures that it considers to be their son or daughter. Now, Samus, previously in the Metroid series, Samus has been not really a stoic, ass-kicking bounty hunter all of the time. That's really just sort of what we, as a video gaming community, have assumed about her. Now, I guess if you look at the various mangas that have been released in Japan, someone might sing a different tune there, but really, it can be taken either way, whether or not Samus as a main character is stoic or emotionally damaged. However, it really only makes sense that as a character who has been killing things for many, many years, who was, raised by aliens, I'm a little soft on my memory with that part, who barely at least has any human contact at all, is a little bit of a screwball and has bizarre-ass reasoning when it comes to relating with people and stuff like that. We also have the fact that in Metroid games 1 through 3, that's Metroid, Metroid 2, which was on the Game Boy of all systems, and then Super Metroid, this relationship, at least between 2 and 3 now that I think about it, has been built up where, oh, Samus is this mother figure? That's pretty interesting. What's up with that? Because yes, at the end of Metroid 2, this creature known as a Metroid ends up hatching. Typically, this thing is a very dangerous creature, but it sees Samus as the first thing, or first person that it sees, and so it thinks of Samus as its mother. And then that relationship is further built between Super Metroid, and really, it only makes sense that afterwards, after Super Metroid, when that really devastating crap goes on, and perhaps this baby Metroid is dead, who really knows, I don't want to spoil that, now Samus is pretty damaged, and she is bound to make a few more than usual screwy decisions. And so, of course, in these cutscenes where she's speaking, of course she's going to sound a little lost, a little bit empty and dead inside. Really, wouldn't it be pretty freaking screwed up if she was this quick-jawed, like, quick-witted character, making snappy comebacks and curb-stomping enemies while insulting them, like some people seem to think that she should be doing. Wouldn't that be a little bit weird? Isn't it kind of normal that this woman who had a creature that, being who Samus is, this is probably not going, she's probably not going to form a typical relationship where they both work 9-to-5 jobs and they have to worry about who's paying for the babysitter. No, she probably never expected to feel something like this. She had this creature which they formed sort of a mother-daughter or mother-son, not sure of the gender of this Metroid, and then it was ripped apart to shreds. Shocking that she sounds emotionally dead inside. That is not a case of bad voice acting at all, which people have been complaining about. And so in Metroid Other M, she finds this distress signal. She's not entirely sure why she decides to follow it, but she does, and then she meets up with some people she goes way back with at the Federation, I guess, whatever the hell she worked at. And there's this weird sort of daddy issue that Samus has as a character that does show that she is weak. It shows her in a sort of mindset that one as a player does not wish upon themselves. Where, yes, Samus is a weak character, however, in this specific regard, because it's not like she's Shinji Ikari and cowering in fear. No, she's still kicking ass. The animations have her being more brutal than ever. It's just in the dialogue sequences that populate the beginning of the game. Yes, it does show that she is a little submissive to this character. Now, partially this is due to the fact that she's being submissive because it's a gameplay mechanic. She does not lose all of her powers in the beginning, but instead she gains the powers by authorization of this character who is sort of using Samus as one of his own, one of his squad, and so this Adam character will authorize a power before she's able to use it. And then there's this weird little power play that's going on between the two where she kind of wants to prove that she doesn't need to do this. Now, yes, this is a little odd. However, this does not destroy the video game at all. And something we need to realize is that just because we do not agree with perhaps the philosophical mindset of the character that we're playing in a video game does not necessarily mean that the video game is screwed up or that the mindset is illegitimate. No, we can disagree with what the character is doing while still enjoying the storyline and the interactions between all of the characters. And that's really the stance that I take. I do not personally agree with how Samus is handling things here. Instead of being submissive, if it was me, I would be like, screw you, I will use all the powers as I see fit, as I want to, just because I can. Who the hell are you? I don't care if we went back, go back 10 years or however. Yeah, I would be of a different mindset. However, Samus is not. That's fine. And do you know why that's fine? Because it's still interesting. It does not destroy Samus as a character. Samus was still the Samus that she was during the previous games in the series, and it adds a new light, and this does not necessarily destroy her interactions with anyone else. It's just something different, and the video game gameplay is great. I know this video is not really talking about the gameplay, but the third-person view that switches into the first person on occasion really feels different and interesting and fresh and unique, and I enjoy the hell out of it. It feels like a 2D Samus or 2D Metroid game, but in 3D. And that's kind of hard to explain, but yes, that's how it feels to me. And going into first person, not that bad. And some of the other gameplay mechanics, I don't have all day to talk about them, but they work within the confines of how the game is balanced. So yeah, Samus is a somewhat weak character in a few respects. It's kind of understandable. Of course, she's going to be a little bit of a ruined character when all she knows is killing. She longs for an attachment to the creature that has died, and perhaps she yearns for something more in her life. It's understandable. It's not sexist. It's just how this single particular character responds to her environment and what's going on. So let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.